this is the story of the F-22s. Now, the F-22 is a plane that was built to fight the Soviets because they had, very advanced planes, unlike anyone else in the world, except us, of course. And we needed to build planes that were even more advanced. And we're going to build an F-22, and we're going to kick their ass with it. Now, here's what happened in the meanwhile. The Soviet Union ceased to exist. And we're not really having dogfights in the air with them. And the likelihood that we would use these planes is incredibly low. So, you assume then, since they're very, very expensive, that we would immediately stop making them, right? Come on, that's a good one, right? No, but that's not how the military-industrial complex works. That's not how Congress works. That's not how our system works. You see, the people building those planes, they want the money, Lebowski. They want that money to keep on coming. Now, they have a huge advantage. One, they grease the politicians, and the politicians are the ones who vote on it, right? But point number two is they put plants all over the country in all these different states and said, look, if we stop making the F-22s, and this is just an example. There are many programs like this within the Pentagon, trust me. Air Force, Navy, Army, Marines, you name it. Everybody's got a program like this. But the F-22 is a very clear one, right? And they said, look, if we stop making the F-22, you're going to lose a couple of people in your district. They're going to lose their jobs. You don't want that. And that's perfect for them because, one, you get the congressman or the senator on your side just for that alone. Number two, it gives the congressman and the senator perfect cover to take your political contributions and go, oh, no, it's not that I care about the political contributions. No, that would never enter my mind. It's just that I got people in my district who need these jobs, right? Now, look, based on job creation, we could build F-23s and 4s and 5s, and we could build G-187s. I don't know, we could build a lot of things, but if we don't need them, it's a bit senseless, to say the least, right? So we decided, you know what, maybe we shouldn't make these anymore. And to give you a sense of the sizing of this, the amount of money involved, $1.75 billion in funding that they were going to get going forward. They'd already gotten a whole heap of money, right? And then that's another advantage they use. Well, you already gave me hundreds of millions of dollars. You don't want that to go to waste. So give me another $1.75 billion, and let me just finish up these F-22s for you, right? It's crazy. So now the advantage we had here was this was truly bipartisan. Barack Obama wanted to end this program because it doesn't make any sense and we need to save some money. Defense Secretary Robert Gates wanted to end the program, and that is, of course, critical. And so did John McCain, Republican of Arizona, obviously ran against Obama, in case you were living in a box at the time, in 2008. And they all come out and say, hey, look, we should end this thing. So it's got to be the most obvious thing in the world, right? Too easy, Drill Sergeant, way too easy. Except it's not. It took a hell of a fight. By the way, it does look pretty. You got to give him that. It took a hell of a fight. But today, finally, the Senate, and it's not done yet because it's got to go to the House and then it's got to go to the President, but the Senate finally voted 58-40 to say, all right, let's not fund this plane that no one believes we need anymore. Because get a load of what's happening here. The Defense Department is saying to Congress, we don't need this, we don't want this. Please stop giving us money to pay for this plane that we don't need. I mean, how much clearer does it need to be? And 40 senators said, no, we want to give you the money anyway. And we're lucky it's 58-40. That was a pretty comfortable vote. For so long, until Obama got into office, it was going the opposite direction. We were losing those votes. And hundreds of millions of dollars were get funneling into the F-22, which all reasonable people thought, one, we didn't need, and two, weren't going to get built anyway. So this is how politics works, guys. Okay? And once you understand the machinery of politics, you understand why it's so hard to stop projects where everybody gets paid. The politicians get paid, the businessmen get paid, and somebody in that local district gets paid, and this is how it works. So, but the reason for optimism is, hey, in this case, it looks like we are going to get it stopped. So that's good news. So don't despair. Don't think that we can't necessarily do health care reform or get the public option or get other reforms passed. I know it's a hell of a fight, and this one was fairly obvious, but sometimes you do win. Sometimes the good guys and the people do win, and we stop wasting their money. Now, by the way, Democrats and Republicans on both sides voted within that 40 who voted to keep that bill. So this is not a Republican or Democratic issue. It's a state-by-state issue. If you got these, defense contractors within your state, you vote to keep it. If you don't have them in your state, you go, well, obviously we don't need it. And so Democrats and Republicans are just as guilty of this. And our final barrier to it is a very powerful Democrat, who you might recognize. His name is John Murtha, and he's in the House. And he gets a lot of money from the people who make these planes, and a lot of that money goes to his district as well. So he's got no interest in stopping the funding for the F-22. If we can get past Murtha, and obviously he should do the right thing and not block it, but he's a politician. Do the right thing. How often does that happen? So we got to barrel past them and make sure it passes the House so we can stop wasting our money, which is something conservatives and liberals should be able to agree on.